Hey everybody, it's Mr. J. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown on Everyday Math 1.5, and this lesson is all about divisibility rules. And these are the rules that we can use to tell us whether or not any given number will be divisible by, and we can explore, can you divide by 2, can you divide by 3, can you divide by 4? And the reason why we're learning these is because it will help us with division, and we'll be able to, even before we start, we'll be able to have an idea of whether or not we're going to get a remainder and what that remainder might be even before we start dividing. Okay, so we just want to go over the rules of divisibility. The first one we did was the 2 rule. The 2 rule is pretty straightforward. It's whether or not the number is even. Right? So in order to be divisible by 2, the number must be even, and that means that it has to end in a 0, a 2, a 4, 6, or an 8. And here are a few examples. So we don't really care too much about the initial digits in the number, the 6 or the 5 per se. We care that it's even. We care that it ends in a 4. We care that it ends in an 8. We care that it ends in a 0. And that will tell us whether or not it's even and that we can divide by 2. The next rule that we went over was the 3 rule. 3 rules, kind of an odd one, but it states that the sum of the digits must be a 3 fact. So if you think about the word sum, it means that we're going to be adding all of the digits together that are in that number. Here's an example. In the number 432, if we add the 4 plus the 3 plus the 2, we get a total of 9. Being that 9 is a 3 fact, we know that we will be able to divide the total number, 432, by 3. So it's the sum of the digits has to end up being a 3 fact. 4 rule. The 4 rule, we're really worried about the last 2 digits. It states the last 2 digits makes a 4 fact. And here's an example. And this number is 6,716. We don't really care too much about the 6 or the 7. We care about the tens place and the ones place. We care that it makes up a 16. We care that there's a 20 at the end of this number, or a 4 at the end of this number. The 4 fact states that the last 2 digits must be divisible by 4. The 5 rule, rather, is one you pretty much already know as a 5th grader here in Long Valley. 5 rule states that the number has to end in a 5 or a 0, and so you end up with numbers like 75, 6,380, or 225. Those would all work for the 5 rule. They end in a 5 or a 0. The 6 rule is a little odd. Essentially, we have to test for 2 and 3, and if they work, this 2 rule and this 3 rule, if they both work, then we say check for the 6 rule. So we have to see if the number is even, and we have to see if the sum of the digits are a 3 fact. And if so, it works for the 3 rule. Here's an example. 732, it's even. If we add the digits together, we get a total of 12. 12 is a 3 fact. The 9 rule is a lot like this 3 rule. We add up all the digits again, except it must be a 9 fact. Oh, by the way, with this 6 rule, think about why we need to test the 2 and the 3, as opposed to testing a 4 and a 5. Why does it matter that we're testing a 2 and a 3? Again, with the 9 rule, it's the sum of the digits must be a 9 fact. So here's your example, 432. If you add it up, 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9. 9 is a 9 fact. And then finally we did the 10 rule. 10 rule states basically it just has to end 0. And so anything ending in 0 would end up being a work with a 10. Okay? And that's a breakdown of the divisibility rules. So we'll explore more with these divisibility rules and how they can apply to class in future videos. Okay, have a great night.